So you're going to fire one in right there. All right, so we're back once again, and it is day 40. So, right where we left off, I got a patch in this floor, and then we can start working on the underlay. So, let's get right to it. So just a quick little recap. We've got these holes here. We've added some blocking in to help support the pieces we're throwing on. And on this one here, I'll probably go in underneath afterwards and add a little bit more. The span here between the beam and the other side, there's a double there that'll have to connect into. But this was a pretty big space left open. You shouldn't have that kind of a span unsupported, but I'll be able to tackle that afterwards. So we got these holes here, and behind my fan I got this one here. So we're gonna get those done. I got my little horses set up, and I'm gonna drop a sheet on there and start chopping it up. All right, so the patch is done. We're getting ready. We're going to start the underlayment. We're going to start with the first layer that's going in over here. And I think what I'm going to do is this floor will be just fine on its own with the 5/8 tying into this underlayment right here. So I'm going to square it off right about here. I'm going to put a 1/4 inch underlay, which is going to build it up to this side here all the way across. And I got some help today, Beckett. And he's going to vacuum up for me before I go in, and he's going to help me screw things down when we get there. So let's get this going. All right, go ahead. So, off camera, I went over some of the safety practices with Beckett. What's the #1 rule?
Do not put your hand on the trigger when you're not supposed to.
That's right. Alright, so you're going to fire one in right there. Good. Okay. Now, you're going to wait a sec. So, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to mark off where all the joists are. We need these marks anyway. And he's going to put a staple in just along each joist. That way, it's held in place until we get the underlayment on. Once the underlayment is on, we're going to be screwing through this layer and down into the joist. And that's going to connect everything together nice and solid. We're going to throw extra screws in. So, you're going to come up behind me, throw the staples in. Just take your time, all right? All right, so Beckett left. I sent him away. He got pretty wet there in the rainstorm. And I got Renee here with me now. So he's gonna help me for the rest of the day. All right. All right, so to continue on, I got to remove this drain, and that might be a nasty job. Not sure if you can see that. There is water sitting at the bottom. Oh, nasty old drain water, because it was repaired at one point, but it was repaired so the drain was actually falling back towards the toilet rather than spanning the house. So down here, here's what we're looking to remove. I've already got it loose up top, and it shouldn't take much. I'm just gonna sawzall the end off for right now, and everything's gonna be tapping back into this drain. But if we step back, maybe you can see from this angle, see how it's sloping up. It shouldn't do that. It's supposed to slope down. So the high point is actually here where they have this little rubber union This was obviously a repair at one point, and it was not done properly. And it's supposed to go over to here, tap into here, and this is all done properly. But that definitely needs rework. So we're gonna cut off the drain, and we'll worry about getting all that done afterwards, because I've got to relocate the drain for the tub, the toilet, and the vanity, which isn't going to be that difficult, but I definitely have to get get it flowing the right direction as I go. Alright, so I don't want to complicate this. I'm just, this is already pretty much the low point. I'm just going to drill a hole where I know I'm cutting it off anyway and let it drain out. If you felt grossed out by any of that, so did I. Alright, so we've got all the 5/8 down. It matched up real well with the existing subfloor that's in the dining room. So now, I really want this tub kind of out of the way. I know I said I'd forget about it for a little bit, and then it was only a few days later I decided to do the subfloor, so it's in the way. So what I got to do here, I'm going to remove the drywall where the tub is going. So the tub slips underneath the drywall anyway. And for this here, if we're going to do a tile backer in particular, you don't want to use regular drywall for that. You want to use something that can handle moisture and it's mold and mildew resistant. A lot of people will use the green drywall, and that's perfectly acceptable. You know, there's cement board products. It depends on what you're doing, what the application is. So we'll assess that when we get a little closer, but for right now I'm going to go ahead and remove the drywall. I'm going to remove just the plumbing in that wall for right now, and I'm going to slip the tub in place. I'm going to put the cover sheet back over and we'll be good to go. I suppose one thing, there should be a cleat block against the wall, so I'm going to install that too while we're there. So let's get this done. so we're good to go now. I'm just gonna rest it though. We still have to plumb in the drain, but I'll be able to pull it back whenever I get around to that. I might be doing that next, I might not, I don't know. So let's just pull this in. Oh, I gotta screw down the floor first. Alright, so Renee's getting some practice with the drill. In the meantime, I'm going to chalk some lines over here so we know where the joists are, and he's going to screw this up when he gets to it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, and maybe I can get over here and show you. Alright, so this is where we're putting the wall. I got this piece, it's up loose right now, so I'm not taking this drywall out. So the purpose of this is the next drywall backer, so I'm going to screw this to the drywall, and then typically I would just build the wall on the ground, but I'm going to do this one in pieces, both plates up first, and then I'm going to infill it. So I'm going to screw this to this, and then I'm going to put a piece on here just extending out. That way I can brace this, the new wall to the ceiling, and that's just going to keep it straight. So we're going to get both those pieces in. Once they're in, we're going to do 2 plates stretching across, and then we're going to infill down to the ground. So let's get that done. All right. Vacuum, put it into.
I thought you said we're done.
No, yeah, we are. Put it into the bedroom there. All right, Renee, say goodbye.
Bye.
Say bye to the camera.
Bye.
Well, Renee's ride just got here, so I'm gonna get him out and I'm gonna finish up. All right, so Renee got picked up a little while ago. Since then, I've been planning out what I'm up to next when I come back tomorrow. So I'm done for the day, but let's have a look at what we've done. So this floor is now flush to this floor. It's not yet flush to this floor, so I thought I had the material here, but it wasn't the right thickness. It wound up being too thick. So I got to pick that up. But this floor here, I mean, I could just slide through. There's no toe kicker, there's nothing. So I do still have to go underneath here and just add another bit of floor joist just to sturdy this up, because it does feel a little bit like a springboard because there's that joist missing. This is way too big of a gap to go without some kind of support. And that problem only goes to about here. So the chimney was here originally. They didn't need it, and they needed space for the chimney, so they just cut it out. And they do have a proper double over here, and the beam is over here. So we have everything we need to attach, and we do have access. I don't have any 2x12 here though, so I'll have to pick some up to be able to do that. But I'll get to that when I get into the basement framing. And now the bathroom. And I know some people have, said in the comments that, oh, you're going to regret it. Oh, it's so small. We do have an addition coming eventually. In the meantime, we do have multiple bathrooms in the house, and we are perfectly fine making do for the space that we've gotten out here. It may not seem like that much, but that is a huge difference. I mean, that is a world of difference so far as we're concerned. And we don't really use closets like normal people because we have so many kids. We'll be having coat racks along there, lockers. We'll maybe have some storage in the garage coming in. Those are the kind of means that we use, just because closets become very impractical with 8 people using them. That was a very small closet for 8 people. So we don't really miss it at all. So the tub is now here. I still have to plumb everything in, so the tub is very much loose, and it's just going to stay like that till we get around to it. So essentially the toilet would be going somewhere around here, and then we got room for a decent size single vanity over here. So obviously I got to rearrange where all the fixtures are going and all that, and we're going to add a vent in the top, and it'll be good when it's done. So I'd call that a pretty good day. I had Beckett with me earlier. I had Renee with me later. They both got, get a chance to, you know, get their hands dirty, and I think they enjoy it. I hope they do anyway. So they're welcome back. But yeah, until then, you know, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. It goes a huge way to, you know, supporting our channel and helping us grow. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.